Polaris seats. I usually do this in the evenings. It's Friday. A lot of people come by my shop on Fridays, it seems like, either wanting to do something or get something done or want me to look at something, or it's usually a hectic day. So one thing I want to go over with you is these seats right here. I went ahead on and glued a bunch of the pad to it. It's cold outside, and when I turn my fan on to draw a bunch of the fumes and stuff out, unfortunately it takes a lot of my heat out of the shop because it's a pretty good sized fan. And I went ahead and done this yesterday evening so I wouldn't have to suck all the hot air out of my shop. So now I'm going to sew a bunch of this stuff up. I'm going to show you how to finish cutting some of the patterns. And before I get started, I had this is some of the sweetest people. They sent me a gift, and I'm gonna open it up on where everybody can see it. And I guess I don't have my glasses, but anyway, it's Dave and Cher Hansen. They sent me a letter, and they were wanting to do the seats to my nephew. He's got a channel, Stephen Hodges, and they were watching me on some of his channels, so they wanted me to do his seats, and they are super nice, and they paid for them. So they didn't want to cut no corners on them, and they paid for them, and they sent me a gift. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm going to open it and see what it is that they decided to send me. It's still packed up just like it was. And there's my glasses. I can't see nothing up close without them. Okay, so this is a basket. It has all kind of goodies in it. A thank you. I should be thanking them because they paid for it and they filled it in their heart. Got some cheese, got some sausage. They just filled it with all kind of stuff. Popcorn. Thank you very, very, very much. And thank you for allowing me to fix Stephen's seats. And they just felt it in their heart to donate. They didn't have to. They just are really, really good Christian people, and they wanted to do something for him, and they allowed me to be part of it. So once again, thank you, Dave and Cheryl Hansen, and thank you for the gift. And without going into it any deeper, we're going to start on these Polaris seats. I've tried to get another company to make the reverse stickers. I was going to put Polaris on there, and I still can do that later on. I don't have to do it right now. If you put a sticker on these vinyl seats, the sticker won't stay. It's actually, I use dye. So I just put the reverse sticker on there, cover the rest of it up so no overspray will get on it, and I just dye it lightly. You can't spray it like you're spraying a piece of metal, so you got to mist the dye on there. And if I get the sticker and get the chance to put this on here and on camera, I'll do it and show you how it's done. We'll go ahead and start on these. I've already measured. I got one more piece to do, and I'm gonna show you how I do that. It's just one more section I need to put some foam on. So let's get started. Okay, the piece that I needed was 30 by 13 maybe. I will check that again, but I'm thinking it was 30 by 13, or it might be a little more. It's all, whenever you're making these patterns like this, okay, it's 30 by 13, but I'm gonna make it 30 by 14. To square up, this is to cut sheetrock with. It was a little longer, and I cut it off because I only needed one side, and that's what I used to do my squaring up. And I just lay it on the material here and line it up on the edge. Take you a piece of chalk. A lot of people might do it on both sides, but I always just do it on one, like this. Just keep snipping away till I get it sharp on the edge, like that. And square it off. Alright, 30 by 13. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit wider, because I'm gonna trim off that edge right there. And I'm gonna make it 30 by 14. YouTube suggested that I start watching some of these other videos and see if I can make my videos a little bit better. Upholstery work is like, everybody does it a little different. It seems like everybody's got their own style. Just gonna move y'all around. All right. Everybody's got their own style. It's kind of like your handwriting. You know, everybody does something a little bit different. Some people do some things in upholstery work the same way. I can look at a lot of people's work and I can tell about who done it around here. So that's kind of the, you know, everybody's got their style. And I've seen their work over the years. So another thing it's good to do is it's good to have a sharp pair of scissors. If you don't have a real sharp pair of scissors, in a day's time, it can make you work your hand off. These are what I consider not very sharp. Alright. So I'm gonna glue this right here down. Still got my arrow on. This is just a cheapo gun. I got it from the freight store. And, over the years, I went through so many of these. So and the companies that supply you with a gun, I think that I don't know where they get them from, but they are really cheap too. So cheap made. When I first started, I wish I had it back, but when I first started years and years ago, it was a jar, like a mason jar. You screwed it on to this little old bitty thing, and it had a siphon on it, and it had a little old air that would blow it out, and it was primitive. I'm gonna let that's just blowing a little air, kind of dried up some. I think YouTube is a good tool. I use it. Sometimes I use it today. This guy come in with a sunroof that wouldn't close. So I didn't know if it operated like the older ones, but it did, and it just wouldn't close. So when you get you a sunroof car, if you don't use it a lot, it can quit. And if you do use it a lot, it can still quit. So I don't know if there's a real good win to that. Okay, this piece right here goes on the bottom. I'm going to be cutting some of these pieces out. Here's one right here. This is the backrest. I got all these lettered. I put some letters on there just to keep up with them on what seat it went with, because I got a whole bunch of them. It's always good to try to keep up with it. This piece right here, I had done cut it, but I never finished it. So I said, well, I'll just finish it on video. So I'll be doing a bunch of sewing this up, and we'll go from there. The shape of these is kind of weird. It maybe like an optical illusion is what they call it. All right, so I see right here, this, I'm gonna pull it over the edge, get my pattern. I want to give myself that 1/2 inch right here. And I already got this piece laid up here, so I know I want this to line up. So I just marked it right here. It's got to go around the edge, like it's not going to be flat. It's going to go around the edge right here and curve. So I can look right here and tell. And then if I had to, I can trim it some. Just don't cut too much. You don't want to cut too much. You want to leave just enough. Yeah, you want to leave enough that if you got to go back and trim it just a little bit, you can. Okay. I think I got this right here close enough. So I'm gonna go ahead, trim that. And you can see it fits that right there just right. Okay. I'll draw the line here. It don't look straight. You can tell right here. Maybe I get you where you can see it a little better. Okay, right here you can tell I'm lined up right in here with my groove. It don't look straight. It's not gonna look straight, but when I pull it over, it's gonna be straight. Sometimes some of this will kind of fool you a little bit, like I said, an optical illusion, like that. So see, you see it straight now with it pulled over. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna sew this right here together, and it's just gonna be like a puzzle going together. Come right on over here to my sewing machine. Right there. I know this is going to go across here just like this. And I'm going to sew around the edges of it right here. Maybe I can lower you down a little bit where you can get a better view. Okay. Alright, so probably need to wind me up a bobbin as I go. Alright, now like I said, I'm going to sew this right here. It's alright if you want to turn your sewing machine down, but I've always just had mine turn like this. You can change the pulleys on it and make it a little bit slower for you if that's what you like. I guess you see my foot my foot come off. I change and put all different type foots on my sewing machine for what I think I might need. If I'm sewing something close, I made that foot right there and it's only got one leg on it. If I've got to get next to something, I just cut one of my feet off right here and smoothed it up. This one right here, sometimes if I'm trying to make a French seam that's like really I want it real straight. This right here, that moves. So when your foot comes up and down, that moves on it, and you put that right in the center of the seam, and the needle comes right through here, and it keeps you lined up. Because if you're doing some really nice work, you want that French seam that's busted in the middle. You want it straight. Can I sew one without it? Yeah, I can. Can you? Yeah, you can. But it don't take but just a little bit to make it look bad. So unless you're really good, you probably need to get you one of them foots, and you can buy them. You can buy them offline. I'm gonna put me a little mark right here in the center. I know that's short, but I am gonna put me just a little mark right here. Like that. Just a little V, let you know where the center is. I always want to work from the center. I have a bunch of friends that'll start right here in the center and go that way, and then start right here and go back the other way. But I just have not never been one to do that. I've always just went all the way to the edge like this and go across. And you can see, I'll show you, that it is lined up in the center. Okay. You can see that V that I put in there is in the center. So I'm gonna come right here. I'm just gonna snip that right there because I want it to lay down real good. It might still lay down, but I'm gonna put this right here in my grooves that I cut into foam, because that right there would raise the cover up. If it was just flat without no place for this right here to go, it would just stand up, and it would make this seam right here stand up like that and look not so good. I know I probably need to put a little piece across here, and I think I'm fixing to do that now. So here's a little piece of scrap that I had, just short pieces. You can see it's got some lines drawn on it, but that don't matter. That chalk will wipe right off. When you get to the end of the seam, you want to reverse it, and it locks that stitch in. Reverse it, lock the stitch in. See that? Okay. Alright, so there's my piece. Looks kind of crooked, don't it? But anyway, it's gonna work. That's right here. Just this edge right here, I wanted it that way, to where it goes around the edge. I didn't want the way the foam is curved. I wanted this right here to be curved to where it would go up the edge. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna turn the camera around, let you see kind of where I'm at. Okay, right here, this is gonna go just like this. Gonna fit down in that groove. This is gonna fit down in that groove, and that's just gonna go across the edge. Like that. This piece right here is one that I glued. So while I got this one in place right here, I know that it's in the groove right here. Like that. This, I got it pulled around. I know it's even all the way. I need to mark this right here, right where that seam right here is, with a piece of chalk, so I know that that right there is going to line up in that seam. See? Right there at my seam. I'm going to line that up. This is a little short. I might even sew a little piece on it on each side. Got some scraps right here. Hey, don't throw your scraps away till you get done, because you never know when you're gonna need them. You don't want to keep having to cut off of the you don't want to have to keep cutting off the roll. What I'm gonna do with this right here is just staple. That's kind of thin, so my staple will go a little bit deeper. I ain't gonna use real long staples. I might even wind up cutting some of this off. When you start off sewing, if you don't want it to pull your thread out of your hand, or if you just want to start off, if you make sure that this hook right here is all the way to the top, and it's when both of your dots is lined up over here, pretty much to the top. It might not be quite to the top, but it's pretty close to the top. See? Alright, it's to the top. It's not going to pull my thread. It's going to go down, and that's going to release my thread. So I don't even have to hold it. Alright, but watch this. It's down at the bottom, or it's in the middle, right in here. Watch this. I had to hold my thread like this. I just hold my hand on it. You'll see it pulled up. And it pulled up, it can actually, if it's close enough, it can pull it out of my needle. Alright, let's see. There's my line right here. Right there. That's my line up mark. So if I know if I put it right here, it's going to be enough that I can fold it over the edge and staple it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sew it. I used to didn't do it that way all the time, but now I just kind of sew this edge right here. Like that, to sew the edge down. I sew it close. This right here, I know I'm going to have to trim this side, so I'm not going to sew it. Let's put this together. Alright, there's my mark. On this piece right here, I do have a groove that's cut in that foam to take up that seam right here. Alright, so there's the seat. back and forth. So I got to go back and trim this edge to make sure. Alright. I got to trim this edge right here to make sure that get everything lined up back in the groove. Alright. You know, you got to make sure that it's all going to be just right. So remember, I cut this. I told you it was 13. I was going to take this piece right here, and I made it 14. I did that at the start of the video. So I'm going to come right in here. Go right around, trace it right next to the foam. There's my line. Alright, now I trace that right next to the foam. That ain't my mark. What I got to do is I got to come in here and I got to mark it a 1/2 inch. That 1/2 inch is going to give me enough allowance. Because if I sewed it on the line, then I'm going to be a 1/2 inch over here. So we don't want that. I don't have to just sit there and draw it on there. I can just cut it and see what a 1/2 inch is. Okay, so there we go. I cut it off, allowed the 1/2 inch. This right here is my edges. I cut them off, cut them out of the patterns. On some of the other videos of this seat, like I said, you know, I'm learning YouTube. All right, so you got to pull this over. You need to find out where you got to be at. I can tell that's got to be right here. I'm going to put my mark on it. There's my seam right here. Alright, so I got that one marked. I'm going to come right around here to this side. I laid these up here. There's my seam right here where I sewed it together. So I'm going to mark it right here. I know that's going to line up because I done put that piece up there when I made the patterns. Alright. We'll see where this goes. Come right on around. Nice little machine. Right there. Alright. I normally don't use big old scissors like that. They just happen to wind up over here. I usually use a smaller pair. Before I get started on this, I do want to check my bobbin and see where I'm at. If you look, you can see right there. They're pretty close. I didn't have it that much thread on it. So we're going to take this out. Set it right there. I got another bobbin here. It's got a little bit on it, not a lot, but I can rewind one. My fingers is too fat. I can't get down in there and pull that string out. Okay, so here we are. while you're sewing, it's always best. I got these big bobbins. I bought them for like really cheap, and my sewing machine won't carry these bobbins. So what I'm doing is I'm just transferring them to the bobbin that will go in my bobbin case. You know, everything's high, so I try to. This is real good thread, so I try to just cut the cost down. Alright, I marked this, so here it goes right here. I'm just gonna line it up right here. Seen one guy's video, he said that was tip number 845 or something like that. Keep trash off the floor. I failed that one, because that's right where it goes. Here is on the floor, and then we sweep it up when we're done. So I failed. I could probably learn something from that tip. Alright, so there that is, that's sewed up. You know, naturally you want to, I could put a French seam on it, but I'm not. I think if I just do a fold over like that, it's going to be stronger. So let's just fold it over. It's very important to put a straight, really neat looking seam right here, instead of kind of a jagged seam. I've seen a lot of people do that. If you can't put a straight seam, you probably need to practice on doing that. I said earlier about your signature. Work being like your signature, and this is the prime example of showing what you're doing is whenever you put these top seams on, and it don't matter if it's the double pleats or the single pleats or whatever, but this is your signature. Right here is what people's going to see. You don't want no shoddy looking work. Better get your sewing machine out and start practicing. used to do this blindfolded. Now I feel like I'm blindfolded. I can't thread that needle as fast as I used to could. Alright. When you get in a tight spot like this, take your time. You know, you got to pull that material apart like this. Pull it apart right in here, because you don't want that seam to be overlapped or always keep that seam straight. Always make sure the bottom up under here is folded the way that you're sewing, because it can flip the other way, and if it does, it's going to really, really make the seam look bad. Okay, let's go see if it fits. That's the main thing, ain't it? Alright, back over here. Let's see. Let's see what happens. If it's cold, you might have to heat this thing up with a heat gun or a heater or something like that, because it is kind of cold in here. Sometimes I heat it up in the summertime just so it'll be pliable. Alright, there we go. That's the way it's going to look, kind of like that. All the seams are straight. See? All the seams are straight. So now that we know it fits, what I'm going to do is turn the cover inside out like this. You can take and put Velcro on here if you don't like it, if you don't want to glue it. I always glue it. It seems like it makes the cover stronger. It don't slide around. Alright, so I got it glued. Probably won't take just a few minutes for it to dry. But you see, I got it all glued right in these seams right here. Main and even on the cover, it's glued. I'll probably pull them together, stick them, like pull them together and pinch them together to where it's not wide. And then I staple that right there on. I'm going to show you how this one right here looks. Always use stainless steel staples. I'm getting so many political phone calls here in Georgia. It's unreal. I tried to flip them off. I don't even want to listen to it no more. It's almost, it's been got to the point that I'm just kind of sick. Sicko. Alright, I even got some loose ones over there, so I'm gonna try to use up the pieces that I got just laying around. Always use a stainless steel staple, that way it don't rust. Like all these that's in here, they were rusted up. Probably somebody that did furniture work, maybe. They used them varnish staples, what I call them. They're inside a home. They don't need that. They don't have to be. They don't have to be stainless steel because they're not going to be outside exposed to the elements. All right, what I'm going to do is just line it up. Put me a piece over here so it don't try to stick every time I move it around. All right, just line it up just like this. Trying to pull that down where I can get it in that groove. Right here. Go right up here. I'm going to put this in the groove. Very important that you get it down in there to where it don't stick up. Okay. I'm going to take this. A heat gun is almost a necessity. It's not a hair dryer. It's a heat gun, so you cannot hold this on vinyl and stuff like that very long. That's the reason I'm moving it like this sometimes. Right here, I'm just going to roll that over. It's good and hot, it's pliable. Roll this over. Just like that. Alright, these seams right here, I never stuck them down. So I'm going to take and press them down right in the seam. It gives it a deeper looking pleat. Take a long look at it. Alright, I'm just going to pull it around. Okay. You see it's on. I'll take and get some angry green, what my grandson calls it, and I put that on there and kind of make it a little bit cleaner. Take that off. I'm gonna heat this up really good to go down in that groove right here. I may have to stretch it a little bit, but it ain't gonna be too much. Patterns is real close. I'll show you how good it looks once it's all said and done. That is, you might want to feel of it, not get it too hot, but I mean to burn it, you don't want to burn it, but you want it pliable. If it's too cold weather, you won't do that. Going back, gonna heat it up again. It seems like it cools off pretty quick. Any work that I do out here, I want it to look like it's made for it instead of it looking like somebody put it on. I want it to look like it was born there. And you can look and tell as it goes around from right here, it goes right on around, and you want it to look smooth. You don't want it, if it's got any little old bitty places in it, like a wrinkle or something like that, you want to take a steamer and attempt to get it out. You look right here, this seam right here, it comes around here and goes back around. It goes back around. It's not open. It's not open right in here. I cut it to where it would go back around and be without that wrinkle in there. I didn't want a big gathered up place. I wanted it closed up. So whenever you make your patterns, you got to make that allowance for that. You got to know. Like I told you, it's like playing a game of chess. You got to think ahead and study what you're doing. Because if you don't, when you get to this point right here, you'll have a big gathered up piece, and then you're going to have to fold it. And it's going to look like crap. I realize this is just a simple little old seat, but you got to start somewhere learning. Before you get to somebody's $200,000 car, you got to be able to do some simple stuff like this right here really good first. Believe me, that is hot. Okay, right here, you see how this goes down? Right here, I made that piece right there to where it's gonna fit right in there just right. Remember I told you that seam right there wasn't straight? It looked straight, don't it? Remember it was pretty crooked. But you see as it goes over this edge right here, now it's straight. So, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna heat it up. A lot of things in that holster does not look like it seems. Whenever you get to where you're going, the finished product's got to look like it's made together. Everything don't always look like it's easy peasy going together. See that big spot right here? It's open. See it? I ain't stapled it down yet. See that? Heat it up. You may have to pull it one way or the other, like this. But you heat it up really, really good. And when you pull it, you pull that wrinkle out. Or that excess, you just pull it out like this. Woo, damn, that's hot. If you don't have real tough hands, you might want to get you a pair of gloves. I rolled these sections right here in. You see this? How that goes around here? That's because I knew it had to roll over this edge. You got to create that whenever you're building the covers. You got to go in here and go in. I know this takes a long time to heat this up. Maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But this is necessary to get the material to fit like it's supposed to. Spam wrist. Man, I'm sick of it. Y'all, we can't even watch TV here in Georgia without it being forced down our throat. I'm sick of it. I wish this election stuff was all over with. Always keep a pair of pliers in my pocket. Just never know when you're going to need them. There you go. Just never know. All right. I'm going to take a razor knife. Now that's the back rest. I'm going to say that's probably the worst. It was the hardest one of the seats to do because of all the transitioning and stuff over here, which wasn't real hard, you know, just to make the patterns and stuff. But you wanted it to look kind of like it was bought that way. Hopefully I'll be able to get the guy to cut me some reverse stickers. I'm gonna try to get them today, right here. And I put Polaris right across here in white, if I can. If not, he's probably gonna get them just like this right here. But you see, you go over the edge, fold it back around, pretty easy. All this right here is pretty easy. Even that right there, pretty easy. So The next step is to take your razor knife, if you can find it, and cut any excess right here off. You see, I got a knife, but I'm gonna say you probably need a razor knife, something that's really, really, really sharp. Or you can just take a razor blade. I got grandchildren. They probably got my razor knife, and who knows? It could be laying out there in the field somewhere. Alright, you just take and cut it like this right here. Maybe this is where trim shop come from, I don't know. Just make positively sure that you don't cut the seat cover. So if it takes a little more time, take your time. I can cut it right or left-handed, but I'm left-handed. The back of the seat on this is not seamed. It does have a hidden place for it. There's a plastic strip that goes over here to cover this right here up. It would cover this right here up. It's a plastic strip that staples on here, hides that. But you see, it don't look that bad. That's on the back side. Okay, there's the front side. You can take you some angry green, put on here, wipe any marks off of it that's like chalk. That comes off really easy. Okay. That when I do the rest of them, I may show it in my video, but it'll be just more of the same on this right here. It's gonna have the sides that does like this. This right here, it's got I put both of them. I didn't want a straight line on it. I thought it looked better if it had a little bit of a contour right here, rounded, and it'll be more of the same. But I'm gonna show them to you in my next video when it's with them finished. So thank you for watching. If you learned anything and you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I can't leave this to nobody but the YouTubers, because my grandkids don't care. So I've been doing it a long time. I'd like to leave something behind so you can learn. So like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.